So the great thing about this year is we have this reading program running every day. So every day, Paul comes in, we have a mini lesson. The children are reading their books from their folders at their level, and we do that for about 25 minutes to half an hour, and then they tuck their books away and we all do word work together for about 10 to 15 minutes.
What is so wonderful about the model is that Colleen and I work together, and there is a tremendous amount of collaboration, and we do some team teaching, co-teaching, all of that, and we've discovered that this kind of teaching is absolutely wonderful. Reinforces some of the strategies we have been working on in class. For example, today what you saw was a mini lesson on fluency, and as Colleen and I work with the children, we will remind them about fluency. What does that reading sound like, and how important it is to make that reading smooth.
The collaboration piece with Paul and I working together is really fluid and really seamless. We trust each other implicitly, and we're constantly checking in for a minute here, for 3 minutes there. What should tomorrow's mini lesson look like, for example? What are most of the kids struggling with? What do they need a bit of a boost on? And then the next day, we start with that mini lesson, and it's a quick check-in at the end of our session as the children are getting on their coats for recess.
I love about this kind of teaching, it is on-the-spot teaching. So what happens is I am there to respond to the needs of the children. And what's beautiful is that we have 2 teachers in the room.
Another big change that I've made in my practice this year is trusting myself to know when the children are ready for the next level. So I don't do a formal assessment to see if they're ready for the next level. I just notice that they're reading their level with fluency, with phrasing, with expression. So I have a clipboard, and each child has their own card on the clipboard, and I write down across the top what level they're working at, and I've been scribbling out the level and writing down the new level as we go along. I write down the date that I read with them and what we talked about, what skills we were working on when I was doing the side-by-side guided reading with them, and then also what skills that they have really improved on and they're now doing independently. We have a grandmother who has volunteered her time to come in twice a week during our literacy instruction time, and she listens to her grandson and a couple of other children. I'm noticing that they're really engaged because they're all working at their instructional reading level, and they're motivated to move through the levels and to practice.
Talking to some of the primary teachers, including Paul, I think there's a real excitement in terms of some of the results that they're getting in terms of their reading, and I think just that opportunity to be working together on a daily basis. It's not just Paul working separately with a group of kids over here and the teacher working with a group of students over here, but they've really come together, and I think using all their skills and skill set and learning from each other. I think they're feeling that there's a really supported environment, and I think the results are speaking for themselves, so I think it's very exciting.
The word work piece is so important because that way they can practice the sound, symbol correspondence, and we have found that that has transferred over beautifully, not only into the children's reading, but also into the writing as well. And I pick up the words right from the books that the children are reading to keep it in context as much as possible.
The children all have whiteboards in their desks, and they also have a little Ziploc bag with a sock for erasing and a dry erase marker. So we encourage them to say the word out loud and write down all the sounds that they hear, and then Paul writes up the word that and what it truly looks like, and then they have a chance to make adjustments accordingly. You can tell the skills that we've worked on during word work are coming through in their writing. There's a lot more transfer than I've seen in other word work programs that I've used. This year, I finished my baseline data with Paul in the classroom much earlier, and we were able to get going with the side-by-side guided reading instruction very early in the year. Now we're seeing it's November and everybody is at grade level or above grade level, and I've never experienced that before.